Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and a warm welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. I've just had an issue where, again, sending my files to the recycle bin rather than my personal preference of, well, permanently deleting them. I don't know how to change that setting. But, oh well, I freed up enough space to go on for 53 minutes, which I'm not going to do because there's a lot to do today, as people know. Because... Oh dear. It is the second anniversary of the Mutant Girl. And the 5th of Phoenix Job High, which I will cover, obviously. But, particularly, I'm interested in, my own series and the one that I have grown now for 2 years. So yeah, and apparently people have been excited as well, in different ways. I've had people do countdowns on Discord, and somebody did one, well, Kitty Cat, the Queen of Cats, Pokemon, FNAF and Peace, did one on the last episode of Walking Wednesday, so last week's Walking Wednesday. Which, now that I've checked the results, it was like 60 views yesterday, and then it's 91 views now. Which means that it is now past, I believe, Walking Wednesday 2 as the highest viewed episode of Walking Wednesday. Which doesn't mean a whole lot of things to a whole lot of people, but it's interesting. Because, yeah, Walking Wednesday, I was kind of unsure whether it was a good idea at first, because I thought it would bore people to death. And then that second episode of Walking Wednesday randomly got 72 views within that week. I was like, maybe there is something here. And then it just stagnated from there. So, I honestly don't quite know. But yeah, apparently when there's something to look forward to, it becomes a much more, it becomes a breeding ground for the SS Countdown, as it was described. And the best part of all is that Kitty Cat is actually a new person to the series. She wasn't really exposed to it beforehand. And I always love when that happens, when people actually, when even like a series that's 2 years old, maybe the fan base have come back or gone or whatever, but no, there's always new people that generate. And honestly, that's one of the things about having a long-running series, is that you can actually get new people all the time. It's not like, what's I gonna say? No, it's not like you have like the particular fan base that comes back year after year because of nostalgia, or they find it later on by pure coincidence scrolling through YouTube. No, you get to reap the benefits of being new in the YouTube content, and then afterwards, keep exploring, and keep getting, and also get people to go back and watch the other videos. Because yeah, the first episode of The Mutant Girl would have like 100 views or something if it weren't people going back and watching it, and it's got over 1,000, and has for quite some time. So you know what, that's, for a lot of Gacha tubers, that's something to write home about, but considering the mess that is my channel, my inconsistent branding, and the fact that it's the one show that I kind of bank all of my success on for no reason, I think it's done alright. And not to mention, behind the scenes, all the discussions and topics that can be brought up because of it. Something, when I was just writing books and not really doing much in terms of YouTube shows, apart from a few Minecraft roleplays here and there, that was actually something that I would do a lot, is I would try and get people to read the manuscripts that I was working on, so that I could, talk about my art, basically. And yeah, as soon as I discovered Gacha and that rolled around and The Mutant Girl finally got produced, there was really an opportunity to do that. And I started off with like Natasha and Nasib, actually, all the way back then, because they were the first people I told I was going to do the series, because they're the ones that got me into Gacha. A lot of the time we would watch their videos on Gacha, and I would give my thoughts, much like Gacha Review, actually. We didn't really record many of them. There were a couple of them that I think got produced later on or something that we reacted to, but not really that many. So yeah, it's So yeah, I think actually that's something that, well, it really shaped what at least my view of gacha and also my view of reviewing in general. So again, I'm very grateful for that, absolutely. And of course, without Natasha and Steve, the show wouldn't have got made in the first place, even though they're probably not going to be interested in the fact that it's 2 years old now. You know, maybe they'll come back to it some years later. It's like, oh yeah, remember that thing that guy did? Also, remember that dog that's following me? Every time. There's always one. There's always one. No, yeah, but I was just saying, yeah, remember, they've got maybe like, remember that series that guy did a while ago? And then they'll see. And who knows, it might be funny for them to realise that they're still going. That would be really interesting. Oh well, who knows. I don't know what they're up to now. They both quit gacha, left the community for several reasons. It's interesting. Nasib also was the reason I didn't really fully immerse myself in the community at first, like joining the server and talking to other people and such. I kind of found my own path later on because of the then rising voice acting community. I think that was the way to go, honestly, for me, because, yeah, who knows, I could have gotten a boost like she did and do like a whole thing on a server event like the Daily Paper, which is an interesting idea that Nasib had, and that was about like images that she was generating on the spot and having the users prompt her as she went along. And there was some clever imagery in there, actually. I remember the way that she did like a fade and disappeared in image sequences, which of course is super easy to do if you have an editing program like Vegas or something. You can just fade the image down. In fact, I do it all the time, really, just not having them fade into darkness. Although Through Horizon did that, actually. So yeah, there are opportunities to do that, but yeah, it's not something that's that easy to do in actual image sequences. Which again is one of the advantages of having an editing software like Vegas, actually. I don't know. And also, of course, knowing what you're doing really helps. You know, especially recently when people have been talking about... Oh my word! Hello! Hi! I'm not filming you, it's pointing towards me! Okay. Oh wow, that's... You know how I said before that I ran into some friends from Sorry You Theatre? Yeah. Well, guess what? That just happened again. And wow, once again, the other person's gotten really tall. Honestly, she used to be like knee-high on me. Anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, mute and go, trying to roll it around again. No, I've completely forgotten. That's just what happens. I always kind of expect that. I haven't shown people, there's a lot of people like crowding over this place. So I was worried that I was going to have problems, basically, to try and maneuver about. Oh, I kind of struck lucky there. What was I saying before that? Ah, dang it. And the person, you didn't see the person, I didn't film them, but that was the exact person I was expecting to come across, actually, the next time. Even though I'd never seen her around here before. I don't know why. Just had this image like, oh yeah, she's gonna be next. Yeah, who knows. Next thing you know, I'll be seeing we're seeing a few of the people from eBanana. Well, not people from eBanana, from G Live. There's a set of siblings that I keep running across whenever I least expect them to. Like one of them will cross my mind for a split second and suddenly they're right in front of me. That used to happen a lot. At least before I ended up going to the same college with a guy. But yeah, that was another matter. What was I saying? Dang it! I was on a roll. Oh yeah, talking about like editing softwares and stuff. Well yeah, now that I know what I'm doing, I've had people help me out visually much more recently. I mean, the video that you're going to see today, actually, which is a remake of episode 1, is actually edited by 3 different people. Not 3 different. What? Why 3 different? Why am I saying that? 6 different people. I'm sorry. I got thrown off rhythm today because my aunt was here. I was like, oh, and I got woken up and brought down. Like, oh yeah, say goodbye to your aunt. She's here for a second. I was like, oh well, I had an alarm set, but sure, I can bypass my rhythmic schedule that I meticulously planned for this very day. That's all right. That kind of stuff happens all the time with my family. It's always a risk going down to the breakfast table because you always think you're gonna forget something and they go, is there something going to be like thrown off rhythm or something? I guess that's the thing with everyone. I don't know. One time my dad asked me to do this, to look at this paper of his that was going to be sent in just to see if it was like linguistically sound or something. Because that's what I'm kind of doing, creative writing in class. But yeah, I never got to see that actually because I don't know where he sent it. I mean, I checked my emails several times that day. I was like, nope, not there. So yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, well, no, I've got other things to do, but sure, fine, I'll look at it. It's always difficult explaining, that you're going to be working on stuff that isn't like physically paying off or something. Like, I'm definitely one of the slowest growing YouTubers of all time. Because I've been going for over 7 years, and it's like, oh well, I'm still here. I realised that it would probably been very beneficial to me if sometime around 2018-19 I would have just quit this channel and gone to a different one. Although now I have a community channel, which is part of the idea, so that I could grow somewhere else as well and have much more of a consistent branding, which, considering that I got BB, the person who has the least consistent ideas and is constantly suggesting new things without actually building upon them, was probably a bad move on my part. But oh well, it doesn't matter. So far it's been paying off, and actually he's really been helping promote the channel thanks to all of the stuff with the true SMP, so I'm not complaining too much. That's one idea that is being developed of his. We now come across the precarious road. I'm just going to go back this way. One thing I should mention actually is what times everything's going to happen today. So basically the the Phoenix Drop High premiere is going to be early because obviously I need to. I'll be super knackered by the end, and I also want to get that done first, so I can then focus on the Musing Girl at peak time for me. I don't know if it's my actual peak time or if it's just the time that I'm actually physically awake and people are most active. I need to check my analytics of that eventually. But yeah, the time that I usually stream, basically. So Phoenix Drop High will be sometime. Adjust this to your time zone. So this is me saying things in GMT. So like 7 to 7:30-ish time start for the My Street stream for the Phoenix Drop High one. Then, because that usually takes me a couple of hours, the Musing Girl premiere will be straight after that at 9:15 on the dot, because I can program that in as a scheduled upload. Then people will watch that there, and then after that finishes, around like 9:35 or something like that, then people will, I'll be gathering up all the streamers, not all streamers, but all the cast members that I can and crew members, and getting them in so that we can do a cast and crew commentary and director's commentary on a couple of things, like the remake of the episode 1, the original episode 1 from 2 years ago, and also whatever fan submissions that I find, basically. I don't know if I got sent anything, actually. So yeah, please do send them to me on Discord if you want me to review them, because otherwise, I guess we'll just be, I don't know, watching other stuff. I don't quite know. Just skirting around. Oh no, of course there's a car coming. I'll go down the most secluded area and I'll still get cars. Gone are the days when the streets would be deserted so I couldn't record in peace. I mean, honestly, of course it's better that way. Naturally. But yeah, just the thing, realizing that people are not really as stuck in as they seemingly ought to be. I have no idea why. Oh, who knows? So yeah, those are the times. If you're wondering why it's at 9:35, well, basically the video's gonna be longer than people realize it's gonna be. The remix gonna be longer because I've added a little something, a little surprise at the beginning. So people on the stream, which I'm gonna remove for the actual upload because it does kind of, you know, interfere. But you'll see what I mean, and I'll put that as a separate video sometime later. I just thought it would be kind of, you know, fun to look at it on the stream and get people's reactions when they're not expecting it. So yeah, expect something, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. That's my usual method of not giving spoilers. And yeah, no one knows I'm doing this. Not even the crew, not the cast. Yeah, just something at the beginning for like a little treat for the streamers. Not the streamers, the people on stream. Because I'm the streamer. So that'll be something there. I think that's it. This is not going to be a roundup of the week, because most of my week has been devoted to this. I mean, other than university stuff, which even now I still got to sort out, which is partly why I had such a rhythmic schedule that I was trying to keep to. While I'm awake now, I guess I'll make the most of it. Just expect me to be shattered by the time that I get to the actual commentary at the end. Well, I somehow went the extreme long way around and I'm on the same road, which now means I have to go back the way I came to avoid the public footpath. That, you know what? I'm doing that. Normally I avoid the footpaths because they're not actually give by people enough room to socially distance. But look, come on. I can socially distance as long as I don't get too close to the people that are in front of me, who are walking very, very slowly. To be fair, there are like a couple of kids there who have now stopped and they're not moving forward and continue to remain stationary. I'm pointing towards me, don't worry, you're not on it. I always have to make that disclaimer. I once accidentally pointed my camera straight at like 4 police officers, and they were like there going like, oh, smile, smile, that kind of thing. And I had to mention that I was on selfie mode, because otherwise they were like, why on earth is he getting up in our faces and filming us? What is this guy trying to prove? It was like the Liverpool Giants event, you know, that video that I did, which I think predates Walking Wednesday, actually. One of the first walking vlogs that I did, and it wasn't even on the series. I'm not sure. It's hard to say, because considering that I've been going now for 95 consecutive weeks, it's a little bit strange. Who knows, am I going to have to get a countdown on Walking Wednesday 99 for the 100th episode? I don't know, I don't know if people are going to be as hyped for that. Because again, the music goes where the true hype really is. And absolutely, I appreciate that. I might have been quite foolish to bank everything on this one show, but now that I've got more editors, I can probably space more things out and actually do some of the projects that I've been meaning to do for some time, namely other stuff. Because yeah, when you do a voice acted show, I have noticed that everyone else does the same thing as well, that becomes like the sole focus for you. Except now Grassberry is now doing a second voice actor series called Elevated. But yeah, but I know there are a few exceptions out there. But much unlike Comexry, I'm not going to make a generalization about that and forget to mention them. So I'm just going to say they exist out there, but I don't know about them personally. There we go. So yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, when people do voice actor stuff, it does tend to take up everything, which of course I was the guinea pig for, because as far as I'm aware, no one started doing what I did before. I mean, no one's having their series turn 2 years old and have them still be running, let's face it like that. So yeah, even though it's not something super popular or super discussed other than in close circles, the Muse and Go remains something record holding and of course something unique. And I think that's where I shall conclude for now. So on that note, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. See you on whichever stream you want to do now. So whether it's the 7 to 7:31-ish of Phoenix Drop High, whether it's the premiere at 9:15, I hope everyone's there for that one at least, or if it's the one for the commentary, whatever will happen. I'll see you all for that one. And on that note, until in a few hours' time, hopefully, farewell. And thank you all for 2 years of The Muse and Go.